All right, welcome to Unit 4.5, Interior and Exterior Angles of Polygons. All right, so hopefully you're complete with 4.1 through 4.4, all the way through the mastery check. So you're with us. Please remember you have to listen to the video. I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions. It's going to tell you when to come get a smiley and when to come get a handout. But you actually have to listen. I know it's hard. You just have to listen. All right, so polygons. A polygon is a closed figure formed by three or more line segments that we call sides. They're called sides. All right, so we're looking at the sum of the interior angle. Interior is inside. So there's something important about adding up the angles on the inside. Like on a triangle, when you add up the angles, it has to equal 180 degrees. We can use that information to find missing angles, right? It says the sum of the measures of the interior angles in any polygon can be determined by the number of triangles that can be drawn within the polygon. So we're going to use this table, and if you're listening, you can come get a copy of this table. We're going to use this table to figure out if there's a reasoning, a logic, a pattern that we can use to figure out the sum of the interior, the inside angles of different shapes, right? So, for example, triangle, 3 sides, it makes one triangle, right? It makes one triangle, and it has to equal 180 degrees. Don't forget the little degree symbol. We can use this knowledge. A quadrilateral, right, a 4-sided, can be drawn into 2 triangles. You can make 2 separate triangles out of that rectangle. Also called a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides, right? It has 4 sides. You can make 2 triangles out of it, right? Corner to corner, you can make 2 triangles, and it's 360 degrees inside, the interior. All right, a pentagon is 5 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sides. And you can make 3 triangles inside of a pentagon. You can make 3 triangles inside of a pentagon, and that gives you 540 degrees when you add it up. The interior of a pentagon is 540 degrees. Are we sensing a pattern? Hopefully you see the pattern. All right, one more. Hexagon. Hexagon. It's 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can make a total of 4 triangles. What do you think is the sum of the interior angles? If you know the pattern, you know what that total is. You know what that total is. It should be 720 degrees. Right? The pattern we figured out is for every triangle, it's 180 degrees. So if there are 2 triangles, 180 plus 180 is 360. 3 triangles, another 180. 4 triangles, another 180. That means if you know how many triangles you can make, you can multiply by 180, and it will give you the interior angles. It will give you the sum of the interior angles, and you can use that knowledge. All right? So stop the video here, come back and get the second handout. If you weren't listening earlier, you just realized you missed a whole handout. Good job. And then come back to the video. Alright, so get handout, do heptagon and decagon, which is in the handout. Get your smiley, glue it in, then do number 1 and number 2 on the practice sheet. You need to do this and then come back to the video. Okay, so pause it and come back. Alright, welcome back. Hopefully you did this. Alright, interior angle sum formula. Once we figure out the pattern, we can use it to create a formula that can be used with all shapes. Right? Alright, so if n represents the number of sides, 3 sides on a triangle, 4 sides on a quadrilateral, right? If n represents the number of sides of a polygon, then the sum of the interior angle, S, can be found using, so S, the sum of the interior angles, is equal to the number of sides minus 2, right? Because when there were 5 sides, there were 3 triangles. When there were 5 sides, there were 3 triangles. So n minus 2 times, right? Because we want to do this first. We want to do this first, so we're going to put it inside parentheses. And it also means times, right? Times 180, right? Because the original triangle has to equal 180 degrees. This is our formula. It can be applied to every shape. The number of sides minus 2 times 180. Make sure you do what's inside the parentheses first. That's why the parentheses are there. All right, so find the sum of the measures of the interior angles in each polygon. We're going to use this formula. We want to find S. S is number of sides minus 2. Number of sides is 15. This is a 15-gon. So 15 minus 2 in parentheses times 180. So that would be 13 times 180, right? Because 15 minus 2 is 13. And now that we're down to one term, we can get rid of the parentheses. We did what was inside the parentheses first, right? And 13 times 180 is 2340. 2340 degrees. Don't forget the degree symbol. This is showing your work. Writing the equation. Solving the equation. Right? And make sure you box or circle your final answer. And make sure you included the degree symbol. Otherwise it's not correct. Alright, let's do number 2, 21-gon. Same formula, right? We're solving for S. So it's 21 minus 2 parentheses times 180. So that would be 19 times 180. 21 minus 2 is 19. And that would give you 3420. 3420 degrees. Don't forget to box or circle your final answer. Simple enough? Alright, so come get the handout. Show me your notes. You have to bring your notes with you. Do number 3 and 4. Get your smiley. Glue it in. Get your practice sheet after you get your smiley. Right? And do 6 and 7 on the practice sheet. You should already have the practice sheet. No. Maybe. I don't know. You should already have the practice. The practice sheet starts with More than 2. Right, you should already have your practice sheet. I'll fix it. I'll think about that. All right, and then come back to the video. This one says, get regular polygon handout first. So get the handout for me before you move on, right? And if you're listening, you came and got the regular polygon handout. All right? Learn while I do number 5. You do number 6. Get smiley glued in. Then do 10 and 11 on the practice sheet. All right. So, regular polygon. A polygon in which all side measures are congruent. A polygon in which all side measures are congruent or equal. Right? Congruent basically means equal in math. Are congruent. Therefore, all angle measures are congruent. Therefore, all angle measures are congruent. Right? It's called a regular polygon. The measure of a single interior angle in a regular polygon can be found by dividing the sum of the interior angle measures S by the number of sides. So, you're going to take the sum of the interior angles, S, divided by the number of sides. That's your equation. So, find the measure of each interior angle in the following polygons. A regular, it tells you it's a regular polygon by using the word regular. That means you can use this formula. Pentagon. Penta, if you remember, it has 5 sides. Go back to the beginning of your notes if you can't remember. 5 sides. Does anyone remember the sum of the interior angles of a pentagon? Could you figure it out real quick if you forgot? Yes, because the formula is sides is equal to n minus 2 times 180. We just learned that. If we know it has 5 sides, right? 5 minus 2 is 3 times 180. Sorry, my mind went blank there for a second. 3 times 180. What is that? 540? Right? 540. So the sum of the interior angles is 540 degrees. And we're going to divide by the number of sides, 5. 540 divided by 5 is 108. 108 degrees. We use what we just learned with our new formula to answer the question. Each angle is 108 degrees. There are 5 of them. If you did 5 times 108, you would end up with 540 degrees. Perfect. All right, so I do 5, then you do 6. You should end up with 160 degrees. If you didn't, figure out what you did wrong. But in order to get your smiley, you have to be able to show your work. You have to be able to explain why this is 160 degrees. Good? All right. Smiley, glue in, do 10 and 11 on your practice sheet. And then come back to the video.